The rap queen who once stood unshakable is now in the headlines for heartbreak and pain. Remy Ma, known for her strength and resilience, has reportedly been hospitalized after a bombshell revelation. Papoose, the man who stood by her through prison time and triumphs, has allegedly turned his back on her. And for none other than boxing champion Claressa Shields. Fans are stunned. The industry is buzzing. And everyone is asking, how did one of hip-hop's most unbreakable love stories fall apart in such a public, devastating way? The sterile white walls of the hospital room hummed with machines, their beeping rhythms echoing like reminders of a heartbreak too heavy to carry. Remy Ma, the fierce Bronx legend who had built her career on resilience and fire, lay silent on the bed. For fans, it was a gut punch to see her like this, vulnerable, broken, and shaken to her core. News had spread like wildfire. Remy Ma was hospitalized, and the reason was a scandal that nobody saw coming outside the hospital. Cameras flashed, reporters shouted questions, and fans gathered with signs of love and support. Social media had already exploded with hashtags. Hashtag pray for Remy. Hashtag team Remy. Hashtag PAPOOC betrayal. What had once been the hip-hop community's most unshakable couple, Remy Ma and Papoose, was now unraveling in the ugliest way possible. And at the center of the storm, boxing champion Claressa Shields. It all began with what looked like an ordinary event, a press conference where Papoose was scheduled to appear alongside Claressa to promote her upcoming fight. Fans expected nothing more than a supportive cameo, but what they got was a public bombshell. Papoose, standing in front of cameras, made a statement that sent shockwaves through the room and across the internet. He praised Claressa not just for her power in the ring, but for her strength, loyalty, and inspiration, qualities he implied had been lacking in his own relationship. Then, almost casually, he dropped the line that would flip everything upside down. Sometimes you realize the person standing by your side ain't really the one meant for you. And sometimes that person is right here. His hand gestured toward Claressa. And the crowd gasped for Remy, who had stood by Papoose through everything: prison time, career highs and lows, personal battles. It was like a dagger through the heart. To be dismissed, discarded, and disrespected, not just privately, but publicly. It was a humiliation that burned deeper than any diss track or feud she had ever faced. And within hours, reports surfaced that the emotional toll had been too much. Leading to her sudden hospitalization, her confessional voice trembled with rage and sorrow. After everything we've been through, after all the years I gave him, the loyalty, the love, he want to embarrass me like this? In front of the world. I ain't never felt pain like this. Papoose's side of the story came just as fast. In his own interviews, he defended himself, saying he had been holding back for years, that their relationship was no longer what it seemed. People see Remy and Pap, and they think picture perfect. But y'all don't see the behind the scenes. The arguments, the disrespect, the distance. I ain't no villain. I'm just a man tired of pretending. And Claressa, she'd been real with me in ways I can't even explain. The betrayal cut deep, not just for Remy, but for fans who had held their love story up as a model of black love, loyalty, and perseverance. For years, Papoose had been praised as the man who waited for Remy while she served 6 years behind bars. The man who wrote her letters, stood by her side, and rapped about unconditional devotion. Their love was supposed to be untouchable, and yet here they were, torn apart in the most brutal way possible. Claressa Shields, caught in the middle, tried to defend herself. She took to social media, insisting that she hadn't stolen anyone and that her connection with Papoose was genuine. Y'all can say what you want, but Pap, a grown man who makes his own decisions. Don't put this on me. I respect Remy as an artist and as a woman, but I can't apologize for being real. The backlash was immediate. Fans flooded Claressa's pages with insults and accusations, calling her a homewrecker and demanding she apologize. Others, though, rallied behind her, pointing out that Remy and Papoose's relationship had shown cracks in recent years, rumors of cheating, whispers of tension behind the cameras. Meanwhile, Inside that hospital room, Remy reflected on her journey. She thought back to the nights Pap had promised forever. It's the anniversaries they celebrated, the way he used to look at her with pride. She remembered how they presented themselves as unshakable in a world where most celebrity couples crumble. And now, all of it felt like a lie. Was it all for show? She asked, her voice breaking. Did I build my whole life on an illusion? Producers of Love and Hip Hop knew they had struck scandal gold. The cameras caught every angle. Papoose's shocking public statement, Remy's emotional collapse, Claressa's defiance, and the fans' divided reaction. The storyline practically wrote itself. But for those living it, the pain was all too real. Part 1 ends with Remy in that hospital bed, scrolling through her phone, seeing the endless wave of comments, memes, and headlines dissecting her heartbreak. She sets the phone down, stares at the ceiling, and whispers to herself, I don't know if I can ever come back from this. The aftermath of Remy Ma's hospitalization wasn't just about her recovery. It became a public trial of loyalty, marriage, and fame. The cameras might not have been rolling inside that hospital room, but the whispers and leaks painted a vivid picture. Claressa Shields, the boxing champion, now caught in the middle of this whirlwind, began facing her own wave of scrutiny. People asked, was she truly responsible for this fracture? Or had she been unfairly cast as the villain in a love story gone terribly wrong? Meanwhile, Papoose tried to play damage control. He released statements insisting that his respect for Remy would never fade. But fans saw through it. They pointed out how quickly his name appeared alongside Claressa's in tabloids, in gossip blogs, and even in his own social media posts. Whether intentional or not, sent a chilling message. The man once defined by devotion had turned a corner. And there was no going back. Remy's supporters rallied around her. Old friends, fellow rappers, and longtime fans used hashtags like #StandWithRemy and #RemyStrong, flooding timelines with words of encouragement. To them, this wasn't just about heartbreak, it was about survival. About reminding Remy Ma that she wasn't alone in this public storm. But the support, while powerful, also highlighted the division. Others claimed that Remy had played her own part in the unraveling, with whispers of past arguments, jealousy, and behind-the-scenes disputes that had piled up over the years in interviews. Insiders claimed Remy was devastated not just by the betrayal, but by the spectacle. Papoose's love had always been her anchor, especially when she was behind bars and the world seemed ready to forget her. To see that same love crumble in front of millions. And for another woman, especially a rising powerhouse like Claressa, was a humiliation few could bear. Hospitalization wasn't just physical exhaustion. It was emotional collapse. And yet, even at her lowest, there was talk of Remy preparing for a comeback. That's the thing about her. She's never stayed down for long. From prison to platinum, from public feuds to private pain, Remy has built a reputation on resilience. Sources close to her hinted that she's already writing again, pouring her emotions into lyrics that may soon find their way into the studio. Fans can almost hear it now. Raw, unfiltered verses aimed at betrayal, love lost, and a woman reclaiming her power. But as Remy gathers strength, Papoose and Claressa's public image grows more complicated. Some call them a power couple in the making. The lyricist and the undefeated fighter, a new brand of celebrity pairing. Others see them as a cautionary tale, proof that public love can curdle into public shame. And hovering over it all is one question no one can yet answer. If Remy bounces back stronger, what role, if any, will Papoose play in her future? The hip-hop world is no stranger to dramatic breakups and explosive headlines, but this one cuts deeper. It forces fans to rethink what loyalty really means when cameras are always rolling, when fame magnifies every mistake, and when love is tested, not behind closed doors, but under flashing lights. For now, Remy Ma's story hangs in the balance. She's resting, healing, and watching as the world debates her pain. Will she rise again, fiercer than ever, ready to remind the game why she's one of its most feared voices? Or will this betrayal mark a turning point she'll never fully recover from? One thing's certain. The next chapter hasn't been written yet, And when it is, the world will be watching. Remy Ma's story isn't just another headline. It's a reminder that even the strongest can break when love, loyalty, and trust collide. From the hospital bed to the public spotlight, she's fighting battles on every front. But as fans, we're left asking, will this pain fuel her greatest comeback yet? Or has Papoose's public betrayal changed her forever? We want to hear what you think. Should Remy walk away from Papoose for good? Or is there still room for forgiveness after everything they've built together? And what about Claressa Shields? Is she truly at the center of this heartbreak? Or just another victim of a messy, very public fallout? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We'll be reading them. Because your voice matters in this conversation. And if you've been following by every twist in this roller coaster of love and betrayal, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. The next headline could change everything, and you don't want to miss it. Stay locked in because the story of Remy, Papoose, and Claressa is far from over. And trust me, the most shocking chapter might still be on the horizon.